Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to have you with us today. I am out on a walk this morning and was just listening to a devotion on identity. And the quote that really I took away from the whole devotion was, as we come to embrace our identity as people of God, then we will know more and more in our hearts how to act like Jesus. And I know we've spoken about this before, and we've spoken about identity and what identity looks like and how we're supposed to be reflecting Jesus more and more every day. But even over the last, couple of weeks, I've been just dialed into the current events, what's going on in the U.S. and the world, and how, well, let me just say how divisive it is. And let me go this way today. This identity thing. For years, I've been a musician. I've been a singer. I was a saxophone player, still am, just haven't played it in a while. But saxophone player for years. I'm a piano player. And then within all of that, I was also I was working at a record company, and so my identity was defined by the job. And as I think about that one little quote and what that looks like in my life now, and how I'm fighting over and over and daily fighting to not have myself defined as a singer, songwriter, recording artist, worship leader, blah, 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 blah. But having myself defined as a child of God. And as I look over my career, it's been full time for me over the last 5 years. And as I look over my last 5 years, what do I want people to remember? And really, I want people to remember that I'm a child of God, right? I want people to remember the performances, and I get this a lot, which I love, the evenings of worship that I host. People come up after and they're like, it was so great to just worship with you. And that is always the response that I'm looking for. I'm never looking for hey, you sing great and I love your voice. Yeah, it's all great. They're good accolades to have. And I do, love the affirmation, put it that way. But at the end of the day, it's I want people to experience Jesus at these events. And how do we do that? We come together as children of God, and we experience Jesus together through moments of worship. And it's healing for a lot of people, and it's healing for me. And so today, just think about your identity a little bit. Think about who you are, what you do, and when people ask you, who you are or what you do, what do you say? Do you say, I'm a banker, or I work in a restaurant? Or do you say, I'm a child of God? And then, a response like that could be a little divisive. I totally get that, and I understand that. And so maybe that's not the direct response. Maybe it's part of the response. When people ask me what I do now, I say, I'm a musician. And then that always inevitably leads to the question, well, what kind of music do you do? And my response always is, well, I do Christian and worship music. And that tends to either people say, it's cool, or they're like, yeah, whatever, So I don't know what you do today, but maybe there's a way that you can respond and incorporate, a portion of what you do and how you do it into a response, talking about how you're a child of God and how God works in the midst of that career. Hey, good morning.
Hello.
And maybe that's something to think about today. Maybe that's something to kind of start to work into the dialogue, I guess, is one way to put it. And so, let me go down here. This is always nice to I love these mornings where you can just come out and just hang for a minute in God's creation and think about, your identity, who you are, what God's trying to say to you, and what it looks like. And so, so maybe that's part of the equation, right? In the response when people ask, hey, what do you do? Well, I work at a restaurant, but we love to, give food away at the end of the day to the homeless. Or I work in stocks, but I love giving a portion of the proceeds away to help fund the work of my local church. Just little stuff like that. I'm just trying to find interesting ways to kind of work in the God angle. Because as we talk about a lot, like that quote talks about our defining ourselves, our identity as children of God, and then the response to identifying yourself as a child of God is to reflect Jesus and act more like Jesus, right? Like, hey, I'm a child of God. And how do I reflect and act more like Jesus every single day? And so that's the thought for the day. That's kind of the idea and the challenge, I guess, right? Like, think about what you do, how you do it, and then how do you reflect Jesus in the midst of that. Yes, identify as a child of God. Identify as someone who is walking with God every day. And then how does that bounce into your reflection of Jesus daily and acting more like him as we go through our days? Right? It's a good thing to think about. It's a good thing to kind of focus in on and lean into. And I'm just thinking more about like what that would look like even for me. Oh man. Our walk with Jesus isn't supposed to be this arduous, guilt-ridden walk. It's supposed to be this freeing, beautiful, like we're supposed to reflect him and reflect the hope that he brings and reflect the love. And so if you're getting wrapped up in the, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not reflecting him enough, don't go down those rabbit holes. Don't get stuck in that. Just be who you are and be who God created you to be. And let him speak through your actions and speak through who you are every single day. And speak through the hope, right? Speak through the love. Speak through the kindness, the mercy and the grace that we show each other every single day. It's kind of amazing. Kind of amazing. All right. Well, that's a thought for today. What's your identity and how are you reflecting Jesus in it all? All right. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of this. If you want to be more of a part of it, I got somebody coming up behind me. Sorry, buddy. There you go. Runners, gotta love them. Hey, so if you want to be a part of what we're doing and how we do it, head over to joindavesband.com, get involved. There's a lot more teachings inside of our membership area. And there's a lot of, there's many resources of how to, reflect Jesus more every day. Have him be a part of your life every day, and then how we can share him with others and just learn more about him so we can instill who he is in our hearts and in our lives, and then reflect him every day. So head over to joindavesband.com to get involved, get started there, and yeah, good stuff. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Today, identify as a child of God, and then let that identification leave you and lean you more towards being a reflection of Jesus every single day. All right, prayers up for you as you go through your week this week. We'll see you soon. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.